Thank you, announcer Mike Gary. It is The Lounge. I'm Michael Horn. Tomas is with us. Hey, Mr. T, how are you?
I'm well, Mr. Michael Horn.
Speaking of Mr. T, we haven't had a chance to chat, you and I, about this, but what about that Mayweather-McGregor fight? Did you drive around on the weekend and nobody was in restaurants? I think everybody paid for this fight. What was the big attraction? Of course, there's so many Mayweather fans, but this McGregor, everybody told him he was all washed up. His dad said he'd never fight or whatever, and I thought he almost won. He won a lot of the early rounds of the big match.
Yes, he certainly did. And I knew of a place here in Southern California where I went, paid my $20, had a little food, a little drink there, and had a pretty good time. You, Mr. T, have been out on the town a lot. You pay your $20 a lot, and you're always at some kind of watering hole somewhere. Yeah, half the time. What can I tell you?
So, everybody predicted that, of course, that Floyd Mayweather was going to win, but the surprise is how well Conor McGregor did. First time, taking on this retired legend. Mayweather was 49-0. He's now 50-0. And when you look at this, if you analyze the fight, now that it's over and we all know the outcome and stuff, look to me, and I'm no boxing analyst at all. Talk to me about hockey and baseball or football, I'll talk to you all day long. But in the boxing world, and Tomas, you much better than I, because I know you used to pick up scratch bouts all the time at the gym. Maybe I'm wrong about that, I don't know. But Conor McGregor was able to force Mayweather to do what other fighters have been very unsuccessful at, and that's mainly making Mayweather go on the offensive. Because, his stamina is good there, but it gets him going on the offensive a little bit. And so McGregor did come out strong like he said he would. He called himself the Irish Gorilla. And Mayweather had moments where he was baffled by the style and the forcefulness of McGregor. McGregor won by looking at the judging scores a lot of the early rounds. I think could have gone any way. That guy Horn that was boxing, and I was rooting for him, and he won because, of course, he has the family name that he was protecting.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing that I didn't like about the whole event was the fact that you had to go through like 2 or 3 other minor fights in my mind before I got to the main one, and that wasn't what I was paying for. I wanted to see the main fight and see it now, but
well, you saw it.
Yeah,
and everybody said it was going to go like 3 rounds at what 10? And
yes.
The thing is that then the other side of that is McGregor got tired because he was forceful early on,
right?
Barely able to hold his hands up to defend himself, so the ref called it a TKO. Well, nobody wants to be called on a TKO; they want to go down for the count. Mm-hmm. And if you're worried about people getting beat up in boxing, then why do you have boxing?
Right. Exactly. But
everybody seems to like it. It's coming back a little bit here. I think everybody was watching this thing, or a lot of people were.
Well, I think that's the reason why they decided to put 2 unlikely candidates for a fight together. One that's mixed martial arts, and one who is a traditional fighter.
Yeah, well, nobody questioned, nobody questioned Mayweather going in there.
No,
that's his bailiwick, man. He's a fighter. But anyway. Pretty good after the fight. Apparently, McGregor gave Mayweather props. Also, the ref shouldn't have called the fight. I told you that's what he was upset about. Wanted to keep going.
Yep.
Anyway, Mayweather got $100 million. McGregor got 30, and they're going to make from pay-per-view sales some money as well too.
No, I'm sure they will.
So I don't know. What would you come back? I guess if somebody's going to pay you $100 million, maybe I'd come back from retirement to do one more show. That's why I'm here today, actually.
Sure, why not?
They paid me an extra $1 to come in and do this show, so we're here. It's The Lounge. I'm Michael Horn. That's the amazing Tomas. We'll continue straight ahead on CRN, the Competition Radio Network here. We'll get out of boxing and get into some news and review for you.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone wants the original, the authentic. And with a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the iconic luxury, unparalleled safety, and performance of Mercedes-Benz at a price you can afford. But just remember, only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer has the skilled technicians to certify that your pre-owned vehicle is up to Mercedes-Benz standards. And only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer offers an unlimited mileage warranty, so you can drive with confidence as far as you'd like for up to 5 years. There are pre-owned vehicles, and then there are Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned vehicles. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through August 31st and receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
We are back here in the lounge, Michael Horn Tomas. So, I have this system called Sonos. Have you heard about this system, Tomas?
Yes, I have.
They have it in stores. You get it. You plug the speakers into the wall, and they run off of your internet. And so you can have a different speaker in every room, and you got a controller. It's either on your phone. They used to sell separate controls. Now it's on your phone. So you could be in your room listening to jazz. I could be in my room listening to country. If there's a speaker outdoors, people could be listening to oldies. You could be listening to talk radio in another room. You can divide up the zones, they call them, or rooms in your house to different music. Or you can use it, they call it party mode, where you play the same music throughout the house on one mode. And so I had some problems with it, and that was really not their fault. It was, and this is something I would tell all of you, if you've got a modem in your home and, you know, your internet keeps dropping, you got a Wi-Fi radio going or something, and you notice it always breaks connection, get the cable company to bring you out a new modem, or the provider, because that's what I did. First they brought out a modem, then they brought another one just like it, and then I said, you know, this thing is still not working, and they said, well, you know, let's reboot your modem. I said, wait a minute. I said, if I reboot it, I got to reset everything. He said, well, yeah, but if it doesn't work, then we'll come out in 4 days. I said, well, hold on a second. Said, why are we rebooting? They said, well, we've had a little problem with this modem. I said, really? So if it doesn't work in 4 days, what are you going to do? And they said, we're going to bring out a different model, different brand name. I said, here's what we're going to do. Going to set up an appointment, just going to bring out another one. So they did. They're nice about that. They did. It's the guy from Spectrum that's riding in the truck during the rainstorm, you know. He drives in and he wakes up and it's raining and he gets out and it's cold and he's driving and he finally gets to your house. He came here and every time the guy comes, there's a different guy asking him how the rainstorm was. He doesn't seem to appreciate that, but I still ask him. Anyway, so that was the first problem. And once you get the right modem in your home, nothing drops. You stay locked in. I had a Wi-Fi radio, you know, it kept dropping, and everybody kept telling me, saying, oh, well, yeah, those Wi-Fi radios are bad. No, they're not. If you got a good signal to them, they'll stay locked in.
Exactly.
So my problem this weekend was I had the cell phone controller, and it kept saying, let's search and upgrade. If there's, you know, like your phone always has a new upgrade and you got to hit it and the phone goes dead for a while it loads up a bunch of junk you don't want, and then your phone doesn't work as well as it did before because you've upgraded it. You know how that works.
Oh, yes, I do.
Just forces them to have you buy a new phone every 2 years. So I went to hit the upload on the phone, and I hit it, and I can't get out of that screen. It just stays there. It won't clear the screen. You can hit no thanks. You can say upgrade now. Nothing would work. And, of course, when you call the company, in this case Sonos, their offices are closed for the weekend.
Of course.
So, of course, I had to wait till the first of the week, and then I called them, and they said, well, go to your settings on your phone and turn down the size of your font. I said, what? They said, your font. So I go there, and because, you know, I'm an old soul, and I like to have things a little bit bigger when I read it, I turn the font size up on my phone. Well, apparently when you do that, in the case of this app, you couldn't see the thing that says, I agree to the terms, because it was just one page and it was blocked out. Now, how in the heck would you ever know to do that?
You wouldn't.
This is why I subscribe to Bob Henry, our line producer here on the show. He has an old flip phone that looks like it was developed by Mr. Brick himself, one of the early on phones.
Yeah, of the early members of Motorola.
His, actually, two guys have to go ahead and get on each side and lift up the cover for you to actually flip it and dial it. He doesn't carry it in his pocket. He actually has a wagon that he pulls behind it to carry the electronics. So anyway, is that ridiculous? So then you have to go in there and turn the font down and make sure you put save so it does it. Then you go do your stuff. Then you can turn the font back up again so you can read it.
No, that's
Who would have ever thunk that? I say this to give it to our listeners in case you have a problem with something that upgrades and then you can't get the screen off. It's because your font is like too big. So we're all, Marie Osmond is always for smaller fonts. I see her on TV always saying she lost 15 fonts.
Yes.
All right, Jay-Z and Ryan Gosling are the Saturday Night Live. The new fall season's coming up. They're going to kick off the season 43 premiere. We're pretty old. Yeah, I remember the first season. This is old for me. It's going to be September 30th. Ryan Gosling's the host. Jay-Z is going to be the musical artist. I have stopped watching Saturday Night Live a long time ago when it got way too political. It used to be fun, humorous, satirical, but not political, and now it's gotten political. And I was watching the other day on YouTube, and you should look it up. You know, the late, great Jay Thomas, the DJ and actor DJ, was for many years and died here last week. And so he would come on David Letterman's show every Christmas time and take a football because he was able to, I guess Vinny Testaverde couldn't knock a meatball off a Christmas tree, but apparently Jay could. So Jay was able to take the ball and hit that thing. And he would then tell a story about he being in radio and having the Lone Ranger at a car lot, and then the ensuing process that took after. You should watch it on YouTube. It's quite funny and quite good. You can get caught up and see things. And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, Dave Letterman, even though I wasn't even that crazy about him at first, I liked him when he was on NBC. Wasn't as good as that on CBS. But my gosh, I miss him. I miss he and Jay Leno. The guys they got now are like creepy.
I tend to agree with you. Something about them, they don't have the class or the je ne sais quoi, as they say in French.
What was that?
Je ne sais quoi.
So the Genesis quadruple, whatever you said there, is lacking from these guys because they don't interview the person. They don't let the guest be the star of the show. They become the guest. It's all about their point of view. Mm-hmm. It's all about they being the funny comedian and the jokester. And it's like it loses everything from what the good old days was, where you were when you were the host of the show, and you would come on, do your monologue, and then interview people and have some fun.
Right, exactly.
Jimmy Kimmel had that problem with his kid. God forbid anything happened to his kid. And then he goes on there and saying everybody should be allowed to have a kid. And my doctor, when I went to him the day after that, said, I'm never going to watch the guy again. And I said, why? What's wrong with Jimmy Kimmel? He said, well, at Children's Hospital, they never take somebody and toss them out of the hospital. They'll always take care of everybody. And for him to say that is not true. Fake news coming out of the mouth of Jimmy Kimmel. Of course, everybody should have the chance to save their kid's life, and they do that at Children's Hospital. So don't say that that the whole country is nuts because they don't take care. We have a pretty darn good healthcare system in the United States of America, and I'm tired of these Pied Piper hosts becoming the big mouthpieces for this. Get yourself a talk show if you want to do that. Hear, hear. Order in the court. Thank you very much. Let's get back on with the show. Taylor Swift, she is causing always controversial things with her.
You're telling
boyfriends or whatever. I still like her a lot, but she seems to get really controversial. And apparently she set a new record. Spotify says that Taylor Swift set a new global first-day streaming record with her new single. Spotify said that by this last Saturday, it had locked more than 8 million same-day streams for her new single, Look What You Made Me Do. What do you suppose she's complaining about in this one? Look what you made me do. That's how I'd sing that song. Instead of look what you made me do, I say, look what you made me do. I got angry. Anyway, she, I guess it was released just before midnight on Thursday on streaming platforms and iTunes. She wrote and produced it, and she performs it. And it's the first single from her 6th album. The album's called Reputation. Going to be released on November 10th. The video premiered on this last weekend's MTV Video Music Awards. And so anyway, 19 million same-day views. That's pretty good on this thing. So congratulations to Taylor Swift. We'll continue straight ahead. It's The Lounge. Michael Horn-Tomas coming to you from your good friends at CRN, the Celebration Radio Network. CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant.
that Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
Just mesmerized by that bass line. Welcome back here to the lounge. I'm Michael Horn along with Tomas.
I was wondering what was happening to you.
Just love that tune. It's good. Thank you. So I'm reading this news sheet. LARadio.com is a great thing. You can subscribe to it. This guy, Don Barrett, puts it in. It talks about radio in general, basically with a focus on Los Angeles radio, but it talks about radio all around. And with the passing of Jerry Lewis, did you realize that he owned a radio station?
No, I did not.
Do you read that column at all?
I have not recently.
Well, apparently he had bought a station in the San Fernando Valley of California back in the 60s, KVFM. And he was going to call it KJPL for Jerry and Paula Lewis. That was his wife's name. And they asked him, why did you buy a radio station? And he says, I never know what time it is.
That's a good one.
Am I right?
You're right.
25 minutes past the hour, he'd at least have a time check. So, and was talking about at that time, he had a studio in his house, and he was able to do, like, lines for movies that he would do, and he could hook up to the station and do his radio show, but apparently only had it for a short-lived period of time. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Among other things, Jerry Lewis, the comic and crazy guy, who also had a radio station, and they said he's also, they are saying he's one of the early pioneers of rock and roll music. This is for Jerry Lee Lewis now, not the famed Jerry Lewis, the comedian, but Jerry Lee Lewis has addressed this. You know, Jerry Lee Lewis started out, he started out in pop music, but he also had that country feel to it. Mm-hmm. Am I right?
You are correct.
So
sir.
he was the early pioneer in rock and roll, but then he had a whole second career in country music. He's still alive, by the way, Jerry Lee Lewis. They call him the Killer. And they were asked, he said he doesn't understand why his contributions to country music haven't been recognized by the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I would agree, because, back in the early stages of the Country Mike career when I did country music, Jerry Lee Lewis was doing a lot of great songs. What made Milwaukee famous has made a loser out of me. That's one of my favorite. What made Milwaukee famous, was beer, right? Has made a loser out of me. Great tune. Good stuff. And anyway, he's 81 years old. He was honored by artists like George Strait, Chris Christopherson, Chris Stapleton, Leanne Womack during the live concert series Skyville Live this last Saturday night. And Jerry Lee Lewis quickly found fame under the guidance of Sam Phillips at Sun Records. You ever see that play they had where I think it's Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, and Jerry Lee Lewis? It's a great show if you ever get a chance to see it. 4 guys, they're talking. It's just a wonderful show. It's called $1 Million Quartet. Check it out. If you get to see this one, that's one I'd go see. I'd go to the Pantages Theater to see that. It's great.
Okay.
But he's got, he plays the piano, he's jumping around the stage or whatever, and his outrageous talent, his energy, his ego showcased his big hit, of course, the early one was Everybody Thinks of Great Balls of Fire, and then a whole lot of shaking going on. Remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I just heard it a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, but I mean, if you listen to his country stuff, what made Milwaukee famous, as I mentioned, has made a loser out of me. Great tune. That's a good country song. He also had She Even Woke Me Up to Say Goodbye. That was another good one. To Make Love Sweeter for You was another one that I recall. Anyway, there was a petition's been started online to call attention to Jerry Lee Lewis's exclusion from the Country Music Hall of Fame. I thought he'd be in there, but he's not. So he was one of the first inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1986. But Jerry Lee Lewis, quoting him now, says, "I don't know why I am not in it. I mean, they got it stirred up and talking about it. I don't know why they don't put me in it. I don't understand that." So I don't know what's going on in the Nashville music community.
Well, I think what it is, Mike.
What do you think?
There's a lot of young whippersnappers who only think about what's ahead of them and maybe a couple steps behind them. In other words, they think about, what's coming up in 5 years or something. Oh, yeah, I remember those guys a couple of years back. But they don't think anywhere back past 2 years. They go, there's a whole lot of
shaking going on.
Shaking and pioneers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Women that were involved with country
music.
Well,
but back many years back, like in the 70s, there was country music started to go more pop with Dolly Parton on the scene, getting crossovers into the the pop scene. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the country people didn't like those good old country songs, being left out and people going pop. Now it's quite the opposite. Now it's what you're saying. It's like moving ahead, and they don't even have steel guitars in the music. I mean, for God's sakes, this guy had a great country music career on Mercury Records. I can still see those labels spinning around on the turntables. Get this guy in the Country Music Hall of Fame. It's unbelievable that Jerry Lee Lewis is not in the Country Music Hall of Fame. I will sign the petition.
Amen.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Well, we've certainly hit a lull lately with Prime movies hitting theaters. Now, if you need to do some catching up, my top 3 recommendations for films still in theaters. Obviously, Hitman's Bodyguard, a great little action film. Annabelle Creation, perfect franchise edition. And Dunkirk. Luckily, some of the early summer blockbusters like Alien Covenant and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 are now on Blu-ray and video on demand, so all is certainly not lost. For more reviews and interviews, visit mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter @TheMungle.
This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert. Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hey there! Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right, get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
We are back in the lounge, we being yours truly, Michael Horn and Tomas. So anyway, Jerry Lee Lewis, I think he should be in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and some people think he's more of a country singer than a rock singer. I do. He says, I was at that age that I didn't really know him as rock and roller. This is Toby Keith saying this now, until I got in the bar and started playing his rock stuff. But I knew all of his country songs. He's an incredible country singer. You get Toby Keith in your corner, that's pretty good stuff. So they asked Toby whether he thinks Jerry Lee Lewis belongs with country's historical icons, and Toby Keith said, I do. No question. I'd vote for him tomorrow. And I believe that I would say the same thing with him.
I would say the same as well.
Yeah. Get him in there. It's really good.
Well, see, the problem with, and I was thinking about this during the break, is the fact that, again, you always going to have a little pop drop or element in all of the music, because the fact that at a certain point they have to attract the younger audience that listens to pop music.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but they got to go back and find out the real roots, as they say in the South, of the person, and find out, oh, yeah, he was in blues, or he was in country, or he was in another form of music.
Yeah, he's in a lot of that.
Credit.
And
And
he had that little scandal that was going on for a while, too. Remember that one?
Yeah. We won't talk
They
about
said his
that.
career was nearly, well, maybe you won't, but I'll mention it to our audience because they want to know. His career almost derailed because he married, was it his cousin? The scandal of his marriage to his 13-year-old cousin, Myra. And he was blacklisted. Then he came back. That's when in the 60s he came back on the country charts. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Can you marry your cousin?
That's a good
Got to look that one up.
Yeah, I have to.
Hey, things are different now. You can do a lot of stuff you couldn't do back then. So maybe we just let bygones be bygones here. Anyway, this hurricane has got me crazed by watching this stuff.
Yeah, it's getting me crazy as well.
Yeah. And I was talking on the morning show today that if you don't have an AM radio in your house, you're crazy. You should go out and seek one out. Find where you can buy an AM radio that operates on batteries so you can stay informed, because I'm watching the news, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, I'm watching all the time, and they have great coverage showing this, and I'm thinking, if you don't have power and you're in Houston, you can't see any of this stuff. So you don't know if they're going to go ahead and let the water out of the dam or what they're going to do. So you should have one of those, the AM radio, and one of those weather radios, those NOAA, those NORAD radios for weather alerts and stuff, where they can get information out to you. So, that's what you got to do, I think.
Well, I agree with you. You got to be prepared. You got to know when to, hold them or when to fold them and get the, what out of Dodge.
Are you trying to get every song title you possibly can, work it in the show today, Tomas?
I don't
Thank
know.
you.
It's just my feeling about various things.
Anyway, Coldplay and Mary J. Blige, Lady Antebellum, they were artists that were going to be performing in the Houston area. And Friday night especially, they're postponing, obviously, their concerts until things go. I'm sure the Houston Astros are going to be playing somewhere else and not in Houston. So,
sure.
Yeah. I see those roads that just sink down, and they had 30 inches of rain here and 50 inches here, and it's like, wow. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all people there in Houston. Get yourself some AM radios. Even if you say, well, I listen off the internet, because I love it. You can hear crntalk.com on the internet everywhere, but you also want to catch us when we're on our AM radio stations and FM stations, because you can tune in and listen to that anywhere. If the internet goes down or whatever, you're stuck maybe with a guy on a transmitter telling you what to do. I was in a movie once. Just another short story. And my role was that of a radio announcer. There's no picture of me because obviously they said I had a face for the radio. And I was the announcer at some kind of resort where there was going to be an avalanche. And it was apparent the avalanche was going to hit. And I said, this will be our last broadcast. God bless you all. And I was at the transmitter and I shut the station off. Now, who in their right mind would do it? Most good guys at a station would stay there and stay right till the very end at the station. But no. My character shut it off and left town. Hey, did you hear about those salmon that got escaped the netting in up in the Seattle area?
No, I didn't.
They were farm raised. Listen to this. They're Atlantic salmon. Now, here's the deal. Who in their right mind has Atlantic salmon in the Pacific Ocean in the first place? If you want to really call them Atlantic salmon, they should be in the Atlantic Ocean, should they not?
They should.
So this fish farm is raising them. They got them caged in by nets in the Pacific Ocean, but now they're blaming it on the eclipse of the sun, and they're saying that things changed, and so I don't know how many thousands of these fish escaped, and now they're allowing you to fish. Get your license and catch as many of these salmon as you want, because what happens when the coho salmon, the Pacific species, mates with the Atlantic salmon, there's going to be like a Conor McGregor fight, like a war zone or something. Imagine how that fish will taste. I'm sure it'll be delicious. but they're saying, there's different, they may eat up all the food or something. There's something going on in the ocean.
There's always something going on in the ocean.
Caitlyn Jenner apparently got ambushed. She was verbally chewed out and insulted by a trans woman at an LGBT event this weekend just because Caitlyn supports Donald Trump. You know what? Get a life, woman that's shouting out at Caitlyn Jenner. You know what? People, last time I looked, this was a free country. You can support who the hell you want. So get over yourself. What, just because you're LGBT, you can't support Donald Trump? Is that like in the rules somewhere? Let me look at my rules here. The LGBT community. Apparently, everybody has to be a Democrat there. Well, last I looked, Democrats were voting against the abolition of slavery. So you want to go back a while? That Democratic Party, they wanted to keep the slaves in this country. So enjoy your party, Democrats. Oh, I got a dramatic bumper there. I mean, this is ridiculous. Come on. You should be able to be what you want, who you want. You should be able to support who you want. So there's some video out there. Caitlyn was attending a trans course of Los Angeles, a performance Saturday night at the LA LGBT Center when she was confronted by this trans activist and a journalist named Ashley Marie Preston. And in this video, Ashley posted on her Facebook, because of course she's a Gloria hound for publicity. She comes up to Caitlyn, who innocently goes in for a hug, but then checks her and unleashes a tirade about what she claims is Caitlyn's continued support for Trump. Well, good for you, Caitlyn, and support who you want. Last I heard, I don't think the president was against the LGBT community. So there you have it. Put that in your LGBT pipe and smoke that one.
Where can you go for the finest jumbo white butterflied shrimp rolled in panko breadcrumbs and cooked to golden perfection? Only at Long John Silver's. Try the new panko butterfly shrimp. Wait, what? You want more? Well, for a limited time only, you could kick up the flavor with our sweet and tangy sauce. What could possibly top this? You could add a delicious deep-fried Twinkie for only 99 cents. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more. At participating locations, see store for details.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. You can guarantee the marketing department that they'll get their supplies tomorrow and guarantee the accounting department that they'll be delivered free. With free next-day delivery, you'll have the ability to move deadlines up and adjust budgets down. Go to Staples.com and get the office essentials you need delivered next day for free. Staples. It's pro time. Orders over $49.99 placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Eligible items only.
We are back here in the lounge. Michael Horn Tomas, thanks for joining us here. I don't know, it's just that everybody's gone crazy. You know, everybody should be allowed to do what they want to do and things. And it's like, you know, I don't understand it. If you have one type of lifestyle and then you can tell somebody else what their lifestyle shouldn't be, it doesn't matter what you're supporting or who you are or whatever. It's like crazy. Just relax. Take a deep breath, everybody, and enjoy this life.
It's called free will.
Yeah. So after this whole Caitlyn Jenner video out there, Caitlyn was stoic and still, friends tried to diffuse the situation on this video. And then apparently Caitlyn Jenner tells us, Ashley Marie Preston, you don't know me, which sets Ashley off even more. And then Caitlyn isn't just down with Trump anymore, despite, still supporting him in times past. So, some people support, you support somebody on some things, some people you don't. But where does it say that because you're with the LGBT community, you can't support Donald Trump if you like him? I don't think Donald Trump has done anything in particular to any community out there. I think he has said many times he's the president for all of America. So get over it. Now, Glenn Campbell's widow, she's a little upset with Tanya Tucker. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have.
Apparently, Tanya has had a tribute to Glenn Campbell, And just this has struck the wrong chord with his widow, Kim Campbell, who thinks that Tanya Tucker is serving a distorted fairy tale of their short-lived romance to the masses, but Tanya Tucker says it's purely for charity. Now, I'm sure Glenn Campbell and Tanya Tucker had some good times, and they had some bad times in their relationships. Of course, we hear about the bad times in the news media, and maybe it was terrible. I don't know. But apparently Tanya Tucker dated Glenn Campbell in the 80s. That was before he married Kim. And she's released a song, Forever Loving You. It's about Glenn Campbell. It was released on August 9th, the day after he died of Alzheimer's. She's been on a media blitz promoting the track ever since that time. And Kim Campbell, her people say that Tanya is callous and disrespectful, exploiting Glenn's name. And they say it pains Kim to see Glenn and Tanya's faces all over the tabloids with headlines like, he was the love of my life. I'm sure that is tough to see. It's a past relationship, right?
Right.
And so Kim Campbell's camp says in reality, Tanya had nothing to do with Glenn for 35 years, and Kim worked tirelessly to help him battle Alzheimer's. And so the performance of Tanya Tucker on Today is what sent apparently Kim Campbell through the roof when the host expressed their sympathy to Tucker and not the grieving widow and the 3 kids that Glenn left behind. So we got a problem here a little bit. We have to, but again, I guess Kim is not a singer. And so Tanya is. But Tanya Tucker's camp says she's just using the moment to raise awareness for Alzheimer's. And so there you have it. She's in New York City. This one's going to continue.
Oh, yeah. Right.
What do you do in that one, Tomas? It's like, is this show all about problems people are having these days? I mean, what's going on?
I think there's a little bit too much sensitivity. I mean, come on. You got.
Well, you're a sensitive guy.
Yeah, I try to be. But I don't know. It's just very strange. I think people are wearing their feelings too much on their, shall we say, their sleeves, their hands, and in front of their noses, instead of taking a step back and say, hey, let it go.
Anyway, they had the Video Music Awards over the weekends. Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Neither did I. MTV has gotten so far away from what they used to do with the great videos. I'm glad they at least still have a Video Awards program. But apparently Taylor Swift had a video that won there, too, a collaboration video with Zayn. And I don't know. We'll put them up on our website. I don't want to go through all the things. You've probably watched it by now. If you want to see it, go to crntalk.com/The Lounge. We'll have the winners up there for you. The movie Hellboy. Did you ever see the original?
No, I did not.
Well, I didn't either, but there's a reboot coming up, and it's gotten criticized now. Here we go. Can we get any positive news on this show? Anyway, it's getting criticism for whitewashing a comic character in the role of Ben DiMaio, or DiMaio. It's Ed Skrein is going to be playing this guy. He's a major in the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. And now this Ben has stepped down from the role. The producers of the movie have pledged to cast an actor who better represents the character. Now is the public not telling you who to go ahead and pick for movies? Is that what's going on? The term actor means you stretch and play a role. It doesn't mean you have to be that person.
True.
In fact, the great actors are ones that stretch themselves for a role. What is wrong with our country?
Like you said earlier, everybody's gone nuts.
These producers must be crazy. Lloyd Levin and Larry Gordon, pick who you want. It's your movie. They said they made a mistake. They said Ed came to us and felt very strongly about this. We fully support his unselfish decision. It was not our intent to be insensitive to issues of authenticity and ethnicity, and we will look to recast the part of an actor more consistent with the character and the source material. Okay, this means this movie is doomed from the start to really fail. No one's going to want to see this film now. And that's maybe why I didn't see the first one. Anyway, so they're going to try to cast an Asian actor in the role now. Please give me the rules before we go forward with anything so I know exactly what we're supposed to do now in the world. Isn't that discrimination if you're only looking for Asian actors?
Well, the rules keep changing every other day, Mike. How can any of us keep up with such nonsensical manure?
Say that again there, Mr. T. That's Mr. T, everybody. He's with us. We'll be right back in the lounge.
Aloha! Experience your home away from home being beachfront at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Begin your getaway relaxing on over 11 acres of tropical Hawaiian gardens at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel, voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Just walking around the grounds with all the tropical vegetation, relaxing poolside, or kicking back in the sun on the world-renowned Kaanapali Beach makes you feel like you're home in paradise. There's a package to fit all your needs: wedding, honeymoon, activities, private parties, great food, or just good old beach fun. The hotel perpetuates the Hawaiian tradition at its best. Call 661-0011 or visit kbhmaui.com.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow!
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-309-2677. 800-309-2677. Call now. 800-309-2677. That's 800-309-2677.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Seekers of luscious and appetizing gustatorial pursuits, indulge your fancies with steaks so absolutely yum-yum, vegetarians have forsaken kale and Pilates and never look back. Fish specialties so fresh and delicious and chosen by King Neptune himself, and relish Columbo's Italian family specialties so delectable you'll be yelling out, "Bravo, bravo!" And let's not forget Columbo's world-famous meatballs, and you've got to try their breakfast pizza. Oh, and jazz every night. Service that's friendly, not fawning, and at a price that'll keep you coming back. That's Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, Manja.
Back in the lounge, Michael Horn Tomas. Well, it had to happen. Kathy Griffin is admitting that her friendship with Anderson Cooper is over.
Wah, wah.
Ever since Kathy Griffin shared that infamous photo of herself holding a fake bloody Donald Trump head, her career has been in crisis management mode. Despite her apology and an emotional press conference, the controversy led her to lose money, jobs, fans, even close friends, among them Anderson Cooper. In a new interview with The Cut, Kathy Griffin opened up about the immense backlash she faced after her gory photo went viral. Anderson Cooper, with whom she hosted CNN's New Year's Eve broadcast, was among the many stars who publicly denounced the photo. Anderson said, quoting now, "For the record, I'm appalled by the photo shoot Kathy Griffin took part in. It is clearly disgusting and completely inappropriate." And so Griffin understood her former colleague was in a tough position. However, she told The Cut that she felt she at least deserved a text or a phone call before he shared that tweet with millions of followers. And to make matters worse, Anderson Cooper told Andy Cohen during an episode of Watch What Happens Live that he and Griffin were still friends, yet she says he still hadn't reached out to the comedian to talk about her photo or his tweet. His comments hurt Griffin. She ended the friendship herself after Anderson Cooper finally reached out to her via text months after the controversy unfolded. Do stupid stuff, you get, still crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin apparently still remains angry at President Trump. She's done apologizing. She says, "Why are people still expecting me to apologize and grovel to a man that tweets like this? I'm a comedian. He's our bleeping president." Kathy Griffin just knows how to make matters worse. She should write a book on how to really blow your career up.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
She should, here's the deal. This is a good story. Kathy Griffin needs to de-stress. And to do so, don't let this stuff bother you, anybody. Try talking to yourself in the third person. That's what a new study comes out. It's a new study published in the Journal of Scientific Reports. It says talking about yourself as if you're someone else is a relatively effortless way to quell those strong negative emotions like stress and anxiety. The technique, which is ignored, they say, by most conventional talk therapy, holds promise, they say, for people who find themselves battling waves of intense, unwanted thoughts and feelings. Now, the co-author of the study, a guy named Jason Moser, an associate professor of psychology at Michigan State, says it's exactly the same technique that scientists like him have been investigating for the past 5 years. He says it's simple to do. When emotional thoughts, feelings, behaviors come up, just drop I and use you. He or she. So stop the I feel this way. You feel this way. He feels this way. She feels that way. He says use that instead. And he says by using your own name and possibly also second-person pronouns, it creates a little separation from the self. It makes you think about your feelings and thoughts like you're looking at somebody else's experience. And he says basketball star LeBron James, for example, has been called out as an egotist for referring to himself in the third person. Most memorable, probably, when LeBron James announced he was leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers for the Miami Heat in 2010. He said at the time, "One thing I didn't want to do was make an emotional decision. I wanted to do what was best for LeBron James and what LeBron James was going to do to make him happy." There you go. Michael Horn is going to end the show now.
Okay.
Michael Horn feels like it's time for you to listen to Barry Farber. Michael Horn likes Barry Farber. And Barry Farber is a fine American. So Michael Horn would say goodbye. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm going to stay right here to listen to Barry Farber, but Michael Horn's going to leave. Will Tomas be joining me?
Yes, I certainly will.
Check out our website at crntalk.com/The Lounge. Download our cell phone app free for your smartphone. On your smartphone, just dial pound 250 and hit send. You'll get our app for CRN Talk loaded directly to your phone. For our executive producer, Courtney Cadere, for Tomas, I'm Michael Horn. Michael Horn is leaving the building. Have a great night, everybody.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. At least 3 people have been reported killed as a result of the flooding caused by Hurricane Harvey, and there was no relief in sight from the storm that spun into Texas as a Category 4 hurricane, then parked itself over the Gulf Coast. FEMA Administrator Brock Long says Texans will have to be patient for a very long time.
This is going to be a very long event. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be tired. Your routine is going to be disrupted for weeks. We are striving for a new normal here. But FEMA's with you. and we're here for you